the Turkish Lira had a very, very active day today. We saw an intraday trading against the U.S. dollar, like you said before, reach a high of 4.90, which is near an all-time high. And then we saw a heavy sell-off towards the end of the day with the parity closing at 4.57. Now, this was mainly triggered first by Deputy Prime Minister Mehmet Şimşek, who also for years served as the economic chief of the country and is a very well respected member of the Global Financial Committee, Global Financial Community. Now, we saw him state that he had full confidence that the Central Bank of Turkey will do what's necessary. So that was the first sign that a rate hike was coming today. Then, quickly following his announcement, we saw that this Turkish Central Bank convened an extraordinary meeting, which was very short, followed by a 300 base point rate hike in the late liquidity window, bringing the rate from 13.5% to 16.5%, with the parity closing at 4.57 today. Now, after the markets have closed, we see the dollar-lira parity trading even lower at 4.56 in international trading. And this further easing came after the U.S. Federal Reserve announced its minutes, where one of the key indicators were that the 2% inflation outlook was stable, that they were set to meet it. So while the markets are expecting a rate hike from the Fed coming in June, they're not expecting any further rate hikes now that the 2% inflation target looks set to be matched.
Really? So this is it? What can we expect between now and the election then?
What can we expect from now to election? That's a good question. Now, there's a lot of unknowns coming up which are very, very critical. We're going to have to view Turkey's May inflation very, very closely, which is going to be announced the first couple of days of June. There's also a very critical data announcement coming from the U.S. U.S. non-farm payrolls data. That's very important. And the most critical will be the June 7th Central Bank of Turkey meeting. Now, what will happen at that meeting? The previous two data announcements I just talked about will be critical in determining if the rate hikes are going to stop or will they continue. But one thing's for sure, the central bank showed that despite the government's desire to keep rates low, they'll do what's necessary to ensure price stability and keep the lira stable.
Yusuf, thank you very much.